Any moment now, Mr. Bones.
Okay.
Any moment now, Mr. Bones.
There we go.
Any moment now, Mr. Bones.
There we go.
Any moment now, Mr. Bones. So that's me.
There we go.
There we go. I had the feed open there. There we go. That's all back to normal. Right, that's good. We're live. John says for sound. Yes, we've got sound. We're wired for sound here.
Mm.
Is there a question for that prize, Nev, this week?
There is, yes.
I haven't even read it yet.
Yep. Alan has done a question for us. I don't know what the answer is. We'll leave that to our listeners. But no, there is a question in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Jonathan Warner will get that.
Well,
right.
It's military, isn't it? Mm. So he's bound to. I don't know whether everybody's obviously been aware of the Airbus software rollback from last week. The broadcast media was absolutely beside themselves. I don't know if you would have seen and heard it. It's been horrific. And then within 3 days, it's been relegated to a non-event completely. Oh, but they were getting themselves in such a tizzy over it.
I read a report on my aviation forum site that I'm a member of, because I'm a member of many on YouTube, Facebook. I read a report that said that it potentially could be the end of the MD-11.
Well, that would be difficult for the freighters, wouldn't it?
Mm.
For UPS and FedEx. I'm not sure if DHL operate any. I don't think they do. They have sort of A300s and 767s, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the grounding and everything, they said that apparently the FAA have said that the fix that's required to obviously make sure this potentially doesn't happen again.
Have you gone live?
Yes, we are.
I need to just come and get some Christmas presents out of here, so I can do some wrapping.
That's fine.
Does that
yeah, we're not live till 7 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, potentially that they are going to cost hundreds and thousands of dollars to do the fixes to make these aircraft, flyable again.
I suppose you could say, as bad as this was with the loss of life for the flight deck crew, and any loss of life is an absolute tragedy, of course. Imagine if there'd been 300 people on the plane, as a passenger carrying variant.
Yeah, because KLM, they retired their MD-11s a while back, didn't they?
They
the passenger
did.
Variants.
Yes. Dirk makes a good point, and the firefighters will be affected too. Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so, because there's a number of MD-11s or DC-10s that are used for retardant. But yeah, awful.
Yeah, so yeah, I never liked it anyway. I should say that we're not on air. Well, we are live, but we're not started the show yet. But I never liked the DC-10, as most of the listeners will know, and the MD-11 wasn't much better anyway. It just had upgraded avionics and some wingtip, some.
Yeah, I never liked the BA configuration of the DC-10, which was, I think I'm right in saying, was 353 in economy. And in the days when I had to fly economy, where I couldn't afford to upgrade myself, I flew to Dallas Fort Worth from Gatwick in the middle of the row of 5 in the middle of the aircraft for 9 and a bit hours. At that point, I realised economy was not for me. Was not my preferred method of.
I just think the DC-10 and the MD-11, but they it just looked like it just looked a bit naff. You know, it was not a very aesthetically looking, pleasing aircraft. To have that number 2 engine stuck up on the rear like it is.
It's almost as though McDonnell Douglas were, oh God, I know we've forgotten where to put the number 2 engine.
Yeah.
That'll do. Oh, we'll have to redesign the rudder and the tail trim as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not how it went.
But because we talked to some engineers a while back at one of the air shows that we were at, and I remember one of the Royal Air Force engineers saying that the TriStar's number 2 engine was an absolute nightmare to work on because you had to kind of drop the engine out to get to everything because of you couldn't go through the S duct and everything because it was a nightmare to work on. But it just looked aerodynamic. The TriStar looked aerodynamic. Whatever way you look at it, it looked like it was meant to grace the sky and fly through the air seamlessly. Whereas the DC-10 looked like it, as you said, it was just where should we put number 2 engine? We'll wang it on the back there. It looks rubbish, but it'll do. Sort of a half.
As John Hutchinson from British Airways once said to me, Nev, if it looks good, it's probably going to fly good as well. And he was referring to the Spitfire, the TriStar, and Concorde, of course.
Yeah, so. Bill in the chat room says the TriStar was a much more exotic design. Yeah, it was.
It was. Yes, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. It is sad that there is only one remaining flying L1011 in the world, and that is the one over in the US that flies for Stargazer for launching the thing with things that whatever. I can't remember the name of the company now. My mind's gone to mush, but
yeah,
I would love if I had a chance to get over to the US to visit said company. Is it Honeywell? I can't remember. No,
I think it is. Yes.
Anyway, I'd love to visit them and just have a just to go up and hear or just be near the aircraft. It's just and there's none in any museums. I think there's one in the US, part of a TriStar in one of the museums, Delta Museum, I think it is in the US somewhere. But it's not a complete aircraft. But there's no complete L1011s in any museums, as far as I know, in the world.
It was also one of the first aircraft. I mean, I know that the BA and the Tridents had early autopilots, but the TriStar was one of the very first to have very sophisticated autopilot and Cat 3 capability, I think. I mean, also land, sorry, not autopilot. So, yeah, amazing. But
I just feel
they are no more.
Lucky that as a child I got to fly on the TriStar the times that I did with BCAL, British Caledonian. I would have loved to have gone back to the late 70s and flew PSA with the downstairs lounge area.
Oh, yes.
On their TriStars. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
How far are we off clock, Nev?
About 30 seconds to go.
Oh, I better get the clock ready.
That's right with you?
Yeah, it's loaded and ready, Nev.
When
am I hitting the button?
In 10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. There we go. It's all exciting, isn't it? I need to become a multi-billionaire and buy a TriStar. Right, here we go.
10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
And welcome to episode 580 of the Plain Talking UK podcast. I'm Carlos, and in this week's show, it's one problem after another for Airbus. Broughton is the place to be for whale hunting, and we look at bag tracking, and no, it's nothing to do with Apple. In the military, it's cool to be 101 and still flying, and it's all drone with the Blackhawks. So, joining me this week across the glorious but chilly countryside of Buckinghamshire is, of course, someone who had a very lovely evening with some famous podcasters not so long ago. It is, of course, Neville Bones. Hello, Nev.
Hello, everybody. Yes, it's a bit chilly over in this part of the United Kingdom, but I had a very nice meal out with the aviators. So that was myself. Well, I'm not an aviator, but I talk about it. Captain Nick, Adam from Heathrow Control Tower, Pilot Pip, Captain Al, and Matt Clutterbuck as well. So there was 6 of us out, which was very nice on the Monday night in London at a Chinese. I think we were all suffering a little bit from it on Tuesday, because as we're getting a bit older now, we can't have quite as much to drink as we used to do, perhaps back in the day. But no, it was a very, very nice evening. Obviously, we put the world to rights, because that's what you do. And no, very pleasant indeed. I'm very also glad to say that I think all of them are coming to our 600th show as well. So if you're thinking of coming, or you are coming, you will see them all there.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome event. We've had quite a few more joining the list of people who are attending our 600th show next year in May. More details on that later on the show. But all hopefully, fingers crossed, that Nev, Captain Al, will be there to spread his joy at the 600th.
Well, yes. I mean, he might even fly in, hopefully, from Liverpool to Duxford in his PA-28, weather permitting. Looking forward to it. Just starting to get some of the more details sorted out for it as well. Just waiting for confirmation of a couple of presentations that we're going to be doing there as well. So I'll keep you all up to date as the weeks go through, because we're at episode 580 now. So it's only 20 episodes to go, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very close. As Jason Trussell in the chat room says, Nev, 170 days until Duxford.
Oh, yeah. No pressure then at all.
No pressure.
So, but it's all good. It's all organised. So we're about just over half full now in terms of the people that are coming. So we can accommodate about 50 people. So we've got about 31 last time I counted earlier today. So, looking forward to it. Should be good.
So how's life been, Nev?
Yeah, very good. Although today I've actually had one of those retiree kind of days. So I treated myself to a bar of chocolate this afternoon, a cup of coffee, put my slippers on, and spent 2 hours watching the snooker on television. So that's a real, the real retirees thing. But it was actually quite nice. Made a change. Sue popped next door to see one of her friends, but I was just sat in front of the television this afternoon, which was quite enjoyable, I have to say.
Excellent. I had an air display now, courtesy of the guys from Mildenhall in the UK. This today,
right.
Yeah, they were where I work. The new job that I've got now is right on the flight path to where the jets, or the US Air Force jets as well, fly into RAF Mildenhall. And it honestly, Nev, they fly so low that ADSB Exchange, the little the browser you can go on and track military aircraft, it doesn't even show on there because they're so low. And it's one of those these times today when I was at work and I looked up and I thought, oh God, I wish I'd have brought the camera with me today because I could have got some really, really good shots today. Obviously not the same level of Jonathan Warner, but they would have been really good shots, to be fair. But
we've got at 5 o'clock during the weekdays, we have an Apache that comes across at about 600 feet AGL, which is quite noisy. But then occasionally we get the Chinook as well. One from, I guess, Bryce Norton probably. But when a Chinook's within 4 miles of your house, don't you?
Yes.
You hear it. You just know what that sound is, don't you?
Yeah, you certainly do. So we've got a competition again this week, Nev. We've got a really, really nice prize, haven't we, to give away this week, Nev?
Oh, yeah. No, thanks to Alan White. He's very, very generously donated a couple of really good prizes for this week's competition. So we'll be giving the details out later on. And really, really pleased that he's been able to do that for us this year. So that's great. Thank you, Alan. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, more details on that coming up later as well. Great little prize that is. So thank you again, as we said, to Alan White. There's lots of stuff in the chat room going on. Nev, let's have a look and see who's joined us this evening. Kicking off at the top of the list, Hobby Time is first in this week. Blimey, he beat Mazouz. Richard Adams is in there. Mazouz is also in there. We've got. You're in there, Nev, and Sue earlier on. Tanya's also in there, and Darren's in there as well. He says, "I am first in comments." Not. He said, he's gutted because he wasn't first in. John's in there as well. Evening all. He says, "Hello to you, John. Good to see you in there." Dirk's in there. Good evening, folks. He says, "Hello to you, Dirk." Lovely Tanya. She's enjoying herself there. Although I think it's quite chilly where Tanya is actually, Nev, over in New York.
Yeah, on the East Coast. Yes, It would be this time of year. Yeah.
Jason Trussell is also in there. Hello to you, Jason. Good to see you in there. Bill. The lovely Bill. Hello to you, Bill. Lovely to see you in there as well. Thank you for tuning in. We have got Masha. Hello, Masha. Hope it's slightly warmer where you are. Fingers crossed. It's been chilly here, I'm not going to lie. We have got, let me just make sure I don't miss anyone. We've got Darren, Dirk, and we've got a few more people listening in who are not logged in as well. But hello to you, everyone who's joined us on the show tonight. Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday. It's the 3rd of December, creeping up towards Christmas time. Have you done all your Christmas shopping, Nev?
A few bits and pieces, but I'm slightly behind where I should be at the moment, I have to say. So I think we've dealt with the grandkids and what have you, but we haven't bought anything for each other yet, I don't think.
There's a comment in the chat room, Nev, from Darren. Says, Nev, do you eat a load of eggs looking at your wall?
Yes, I do. Well, no, I don't actually anymore. I used to back in the day when I was a lot younger. But no, they look like egg boxes, but they're not actually. They're special sound deadening material. There we go.
It's not egg boxes, although to be fair, I could eat probably that amount of eggs because I do love me eggs. Right, Nev, do you want to introduce the first part of the show so I can press some buttons?
Yes, of course. Don't forget, it's the start of the month, and that means it's our time to thank you for being fantastic donators to the show. As you know, we can't do this show without your very kind assistance. We've got the various costs of media hosting costs and website hosting costs and the occasional cable that breaks and that kind of thing. But this month we have had Patreon donations from Richard Adams, Derek Smith, Bill Aronek, Sam Dawson, Alex Robinson, Dirk S, Sasha Beer, Stephen Ivey, Nick Codling, Louis Cachares, Alan White, Stephen Howland, Tanya Wyman, Nicholas Hewitt, Masha Heertz, Ruben Wells, Neil Lamworm, Graham Haley, Jonathan Warner, Jordan Rose, Andrew Wilson, Captain Jeff, Adam Spink, Liz Piper, Jeff Ward, Stuart Backer, Stephanie Plummer, Carl S. and John Falk. And those people that donate to us by PayPal are Jenny Parkinson and Mazuz Kareem. Thank you very much to one and all. Your donations are very valuable to us, and we thank you very much for your continued support.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone. Comments on the music there from Tanya, Nev, in the chat room.
Well, luckily I can't hear the music. So.
Oh dear. Well, there we go. It's the Patreon music. Right, so questions in the chat room. Matt will hopefully be with us at some point. He's making his way back home as we speak. Nick is... I don't know where Nick is off. He's missing. He's MIA tonight. And our very own Captain Andy, he is probably either in a sim or in a bar.
He's working tonight. He's in a sim, I think, down at Gatwick, I seem to recall. Actually, and his company has just awarded him a very nice recognition plaque. We're not allowed to show it, I don't think, but he just shared that with us earlier on. So well done, Andy. That's great. Great to hear that you're being recognised for your hard work with your company.
Yeah, it's very well done. Perhaps he might tell us about that next week, Nev. You never know. Yeah. Right, Nev, what is coming up next?
Right, well, an awful lot to get through this week, as always. And, of course, we start with the commercial news segment.
Oh, not the Patreon music. And the first story this week comes to us from theguardian.co.uk. It's where we go to get all our aviation news, isn't it, Nev? This is Airbus finds a problem with fuselage panels after fixing the software glitch. Shares in French manufacturer tumbled this week as a second problem comes to light after a weekend of flight disruption. Airbus has fixed most of its jets affected by a software glitch after a technical problem grounded thousands of its planes, but its shares tumbled on Monday this week after it discovered a separate issue with its fuselage panels. Airlines around the world cancelled and delayed flights over the weekend after the French plane manufacturer ordered immediate repairs of 6,000 of its A320 family of jets, more than half of its global fleet. Airbus said on Friday an analysis of recent incident had revealed intense solar radiation may corrupt functioning critically the functioning of flight controls. The alert marked the biggest recall in Airbus's 55-year history and came only weeks after the A320 overtook the rival Boeing 737 as the most delivered jet. The recall is also coincided with Thanksgiving weekend in the US, where the airlines Delta, United and American were left exposed to the problem during one of the busiest travel periods of the year. Airbus said last week that around 6,000 A320 aircraft needed software or hardware fixes to solve the problems, and on Monday it said the vast majority of the fixes were complete. Airbus apologised for any challenges or delays caused to passengers and airlines by the event, and there are now fewer than 100 aircraft that still need the software patch before they can return to service. Airbus said in a statement that up to 15% of the planes may still require hardware upgrades. An analyst at Deutsche Bank have estimated. However, shares in Airbus fell by as much as 6% late on Monday after Reuters reported the company had identified a separate quality problem affecting a limited number of A320 metal panels. A spokesperson for Airbus said that Airbus is taking a conservative approach and is inspecting all potential aircraft impacted, knowing that only a portion of them will need further action to be taken. The source of the issue has been identified, contained, and all newly produced panels conform to all requirements. For most of the A320 aircraft affected by the software problem, the fix is relatively simple, requiring the installation of an older version of software. The process takes around 2 to 3 hours per aircraft. Now, Nev, we obviously saw this story break, and we had a discussion about it in our group chat, but one of the best things, I haven't got it on here to show, but was one of the pictures that you'd sent through with the floppy disks there. That was rather amusing.
24 floppy disks to upgrade the software, or actually roll back the software is what it was. And Andy was saying back in the day, that's what they used, was floppy disks to do all this stuff. But now, of course, the media went absolutely mad with it, as you would have seen. Certainly the mainstream media went absolutely berserk with it on the Friday, and then by the time Monday had come around this week, it was nowhere to be seen. It was just nothing to see here. And actually talking with Captain Al on Monday and talking with Matt Clatterbuck, obviously Al works for an all Airbus fleet, and so does Matt. In Matt's company, they didn't cancel a single flight, and same with Al as well. So I think that shows you certainly the European operations were, handled very well indeed. And it meant obviously a lot of, some late night working. But actually it was about a half an hour job per aircraft, roughly speaking, from what I was being told. There's software patches that go on all the time, but, it's good that they've jumped on it quickly and that they've been able to determine what they think the problem is. And by issuing that airworthiness directive to all operators, it means they all have to comply. And I suppose the US has the most chance of being affected the most because they've got the large number of aircraft. But it was not the catastrophe that the media would have you believe. And certain aviation analysts, and I shall not use any names, were absolutely, over the top. Some of them were very good, actually, but not all of them. They could have turned it down a bit, shall we say.
Yeah, it's rather amusing. But that's what the media does every time, Nev. We know this. We've been doing this job long enough now that, actually, Darren's just saying in the chat room, Nev, did they download iOS 26?
Oh, that's it, you see.
Dirk is saying more like Windows 3.11.
Yeah. I think the other thing is that when you've got, I remember when the A320 series first came out in the late 80s, a lot of the computer systems, I think they're probably still the case now, is that they're written by different teams so that if problems start in one area, it's not duplicated into the other computers within the aircraft as well. So that's quite a good way of sort of working anyway. But no, it's good that they've identified it quickly and they were able to patch it quickly as well. And it caused minimal delays, certainly in Europe. I say maybe the rest of the world have got some more challenges, but the European and UK operations seem to be fine. And in fact, in the case of British Airways, there are only 3 A320 or 321 Neos that were affected anyway, I think. So yeah, wasn't a big issue at all.
It wasn't as big an issue as they first thought, Nev.
No.
Right, do you want the next one, Nev?
Yes. This is on ukaviation.news, and London City Airport has marked the return of flights to Madrid, with British Airways City Flyer officially relaunching its service to the Spanish capital on Monday of this week. The route's now operating 11 times per week, reconnects London's most centrally located airport with one of Europe's most vibrant and culturally rich cities. To celebrate the inaugural, that's a word I can never say, inaugural departure, passengers were treated to a Madrid-themed send-off. Traditional music filled the gate area, courtesy of Spanish guitarist, whilst renowned chef Jose Pizarro and his team served complimentary delicacies. Alison Fitzgerald, CEO of London City Airport, welcomed the route's return, saying Madrid is a destination our passengers consistently tell us that they love. So we're delighted to have worked with our long-standing partner, British Airways City Flyer, to bring the route back to London City. Restoring this connection further strengthens our global reach, offering travellers even more choice through key European hubs, all with competitive fares and the convenience that we're known for. British Airways City Flyer Managing Director Ian Romanis added, "We're delighted to launch this exciting addition to our network, offering customers more opportunities to experience everything Madrid is celebrated for, from its rich culture and history to its world-class cuisine. What makes this route launch particularly special is that the schedule has been designed to make it easy for customers to take advantage of our seamless onward connection to Central and South America through our sister airline Iberia." Alongside the Madrid launch, BA has resumed partial winter services to Innsbruck ahead of the festive season and reinstated popular ski routes to Geneva and Chambéry. Travellers can also access alpine destinations via connections to Milan and Zurich. For those seeking warmer climates, year-round flights to San Sebastian and Ibiza continue to operate, whilst demand for winter breaks in Dublin and Rome remain strong. The airport has enjoyed a year of strong recognition, being named as the UK's best airports by Condé Nast Traveller readers, as well as London's best airport by both Which and the Daily Telegraph. London City's famously swift passenger experience remains a major draw, with travellers able to move from terminal to gate in as little as 10 minutes. 2/3 of passengers now arrive by the Docklands Light Railway, reinforcing its status as the quickest and most convenient airport in the capital. Leisure travel accounts for around 60% of London City's traffic, a figure which is expected to grow further. And earlier this year, the airport submitted an airspace change proposal to the Civil Aviation Authority to allow operations of the Airbus A320neo. This change would expand the range of leisure destinations available and support future passenger growth without increasing flight movements. Well, that's good, isn't it? Good. So 11 times a week to Madrid, but also the possibility of bringing the A320neo in and out as well. That will be good.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Let me bring that back onto me there. I'm just looking at the prices, Nev, because just to find out what that kind of price point is for these flights to Madrid from London City Airport. And I tell you what, Nev, I need to make a point next year of booking my first flight to fly out of London City Airport, just to sort of get the feel for it and see what it's like. Do a return flight somewhere. So I'm just looking, Nev. If you want to go to Madrid, I've just picked a random date in January next year. In economy, unfortunately, Nev, I know you would probably foot the business class seats. But if you want to go in economy to Madrid, Nev, it will cost you, there we go, return flights. Here we go. Obviously, with points, you'll probably get this cheaper. Are you ready, Nev? £217 return.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad. From, city centre to not quite city centre, but there's a good connection in Madrid. The only thing about Madrid airport I have found is that the queues for the immigration, even if you're a European citizen, can be a bit slow sometimes, depending on what time of year. But, it is what it is. No, that's good. Quite a good price, I would have thought, actually, for that.
Business class, Nev, obviously, for you. The price of business class ticket would be funnily enough, the Queen of the Skies, £747 return.
Well, that's a bit on the high side, but I suppose you've got to, if you factor in, there's no point of bringing your car to London City Airport. I've done that a couple of times, and the parking is quite expensive there. So if you go on the train, on the Docklands Light Railway, it's a cheap way of getting to the airport. There's no lounge at the airport, but it doesn't really need one because there is, it's just such a short, an easy way to get on board the aircraft as well. So, but no, I'm a big fan of City Airport, I must say.
I also
if you think about it, originally it was there was only Dash 7s that were allowed operation in and out of there, and then soon after that, or sometime after that, they allowed the 146 in and out, and then they've had BA A318s in and out of there to go to JFK. Well, that service is now ceased, But the fact that they're looking to get the A320neo in there, and obviously it'll have to be modified for a steep approach mode and that kind of stuff to get in and out of the airport. But no, that will be a huge benefit. Absolutely.
Yeah, just looking, Nev, at the outward bound and return journey. Funnily enough, the outward bound journey from London City to Madrid is with, it does say here, the 320neo. The return journey from Madrid back to London, according to BA's website, is with the A320 CEO. According to the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a pretty short runway at City Airport, and I think it would need the Neo to get in and out, or to get out, definitely. And yeah, the avionics or the flight control computers have to be modified for the steep approach mode, the same way that the 3A318 was when they operated in and out of there. But nonetheless, obviously they're very limited with runway length there. There's not much room for any more expansion from that point of view. But as aircraft have got better, and I mean the Embraers fly out in and out of there all the time, and they've got really good range as well. Or the possibility of going to Central Europe from there as well with a full load. It's great. Yeah,
perhaps next year I'll have a look and see where we can go for a quick short city break, Nev, from London City Airport. Give it a try.
Great idea.
Right. Next is from UKAviation.news. BALPA says budget is bad news for the UK's airline industry. The union, which represents British airline pilots, BALPA, has condemned the budget that was done by Labour Chancellor Rachel Reeves as bad news for the aviation industry. In her budget, Miss Reeves, we're going all political now, went against advice from the industry and raised air passenger duty in line with RPI, a move which hit families going on holiday the hardest, as well as regular travellers for business, by adding up to £12 per person extra onto the cost of an economy class flight. The BALPA Director for Strategy and Reform, Alice Sorby, said the budget is bad news and more bad news for the aviation industry. Firstly, the Chancellor has ignored calls from BALPA, the voice of the airline pilots and the industry, and announced plans to increase the APD, or air passenger duty, in line with RPI from April 2027. Bad news for passengers, especially families going on holiday, who now face that increased ticket price. BALPA also hit out the missed opportunities to boost pilot training in the UK for young people. Ms Sorby said it even more bad news for young people considering a career as an airline pilot. Rachel Reeves has missed an opportunity to deliver any measures that will make their eye-watering training costs more affordable. This simply isn't good enough, she said. Most people don't have the means to cover the £100,000 plus for training without a guaranteed job at the end. Too many who have the skills and ambition are giving up on their dreams of flying, and the UK is losing out as a result. I absolutely agree with that. If the government wants to drive economic growth through expanding Heathrow, it needs to ensure we have the right skills to fill the new jobs and the airport will create. The new runway will deliver 276,000 new flights every year to the UK, and they want to see the UK trained pilots in the cockpit of those flights. And Rachel Reeves needs to make a point of pilot training more affordable to achieve this. The rise in APD will be welcomed by environmental campaigners who want to see a reduction in flying, and they will hope to increase costs may achieve this, though it's going to be unlikely. What is certain, though, is that the UK government is giving out mixed messages with the announcement of a third runway at Heathrow and a second runway at London Gatwick being backed and seen as a major driver for the economy. It then adds additional costs on to air travel. Well, I'm not going to get political, but all I'm going to say in this, Nev, is, in my view, yes, it may be cheaper, but we are always going to have Ryanair, EasyJet, Jet2, who are going to be battling out to have the cheapest fares to fly all around Europe, and that. So the prices may increase, but I still think you're going to get cheap flights.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it actually says in the article, doesn't it, that the environmental campaign is thinking that there'll be a reduction in flying. There won't be. It just means we've got to pay more for it. I don't think there will be a reduction in flying because of increased air passenger duty. I have to say, I think it's a tax which is unnecessary. I would be interested to know how much the Exchequer actually gets in every year. But of course, once you start paying for the premium cabins, business and first in particular, that shoots up incredibly. If you look at the invoice that you get from your airline about how much of your ticket price is the base ticket price, followed by air passenger duty and all the other airport taxes that go with it, it is horrific. There's some really big numbers in there. But, people want to fly, and certainly within Europe and also within the US and probably Australia and New Zealand as well, with the advent of the low-cost airlines, that's certainly been made possible. It's made flying and commuting very, very feasible now for people that just couldn't do that, and to see family and friends, of course, as well. So, people want to fly. So I think all the governments around the world have got to find the incentives to allow people to do that. And just by putting an additional tax on them, it doesn't go towards environmental repair, does it? It's just money for the Exchequer. With regard to the third runway at Heathrow, I had a conversation with someone that should know about this week, and he was telling me he doesn't believe it's going to happen in his lifetime.
There's some hats,
and he's about 40. So,
yeah. I think we'll be talking about this runway thing for another potential 100 episodes or so, Nev.
I think the Gatwick, the second, or the improved second runway at Gatwick, I think that is a runner, I think. And I think there's a lot of sense behind that, but there's just so much opposition to the third runway at Heathrow. I just don't think they're going to get that through.
No.
As they've not done for the last 26 years nearly. I think it started in 2000 was the original plan for that.
Oh dear, honestly. Going back to, Nev, something more happy and cheerful. I looked, going back to cheap flights again, I was looking online a few weekends ago, jokingly saying about going out to, funnily enough, Malta for a couple of days over Christmas. Just for a laugh, to see how much I could get the flights from Norwich from, because as you know, Nev, we have Ryanair at Norwich now, with a base there, flying to Malta twice a week. And do you know what, Nev? Do you know how much that I actually found, and bear in mind this is Christmas time, it's a busy period, a busy time of the year. I actually managed to find a flight, Nev, return this month, at the end of Christmas, for 25 quid each way.
Good Lord. That's amazing, isn't
it? The flights are getting more expensive. Well, they may be getting more expensive, but if you look hard enough, there are still cheap flights out there to various places in and around Europe. But 50 quid, Nev.
Well, that's not even a tank of fuel, is it? Most people's car.
It would probably cost me nearly as much to, like you said, Nev, in fuel if I had to go from, say, Heathrow or Gatwick to drive there and back. And I've only got to go to Norwich Airport, which is, a 25-minute drive from the house here. So, yeah, crazy.
How many aircraft are of Ryanair based at Norwich, do you know?
I think, because they've got 3 routes, I think there's 2 on rotation from there. I'm sure there is 2. Well, there might be 3. There's definitely 2 on rotation from there. But they're only using the 800s, Nev. I, as far as I know, I've not seen or heard of the MAX going in there yet for that route.
Yeah. Well, that's good, isn't it? There are deals out there to be done. You've just got to do your homework, haven't you? That's the thing. Spend a lot of time on websites and what have you. But no, there's definitely deals out there. But no, I think the problem is that The whole aviation thing is, as for the last 50 years at least, I think has become a political football rather than what's best for the travelling public. And it depends on what government is in whatever country about what the policies are, of course, you know.
It'd be lovely one day now to see BA flying. I mean, we have seen BA fly out of Norwich, to be fair, but they've been in there for spray jobs. But be lovely if BA started a little cheeky route out of Norwich, Nev.
Yeah, as you say, they're all there to have all the embryos are there from London City, aren't they? Very often having the resprays. So yeah.
So Nev, we're going to Broughton.
Yes, Broughton. Actually,
Broughton. Sorry, Broughton.
But
Broughton.
no, this is another good news story. It's on the leaderlive.co.uk. An Airbus Broughton has opened a new central manufacturing hub to support its Beluga transport network. The first of its kind facility within the Airbus network represents an investment of €7.8 million in Broughton and strengthens the role the site plays within the UK's aerospace industry. The purpose-built hub means that Airbus now has a dedicated space designed to manage the critical wing jigs that secure wings during Beluga transportation. The hub redefines Airbus's approach to wing logistics, ensuring new EASA compliance standards are met, whilst creating a more streamlined operation. As Airbus and industrial ramp-ups accelerate, the need for smarter, more scalable logistics has never been greater. The enhanced capacity from the hub will enable the manufacturer to double the number of A320 family wings delivered on each Beluga flight from 4 to 8, which is a major leap forward in their global supply chain performance. Andre Bourdet, Airbus's Senior Vice President and Head of Manufacturing Engineering, Gareth Davis, who's Airbus's Head of Broughton site, Lars Brohan, Airbus's Head of Oversized Transport and Jig Hubs, and Alice Bernet, Airbus's Head of Transport Programme, said that the new oversized transport hub will make a real difference to how every wing we built is transported. It will help us work more smoothly and safely and give us exactly what we need to keep pace with future production increases. It's a great step forward for the site and everyone who works here. By centralising and strengthening its wing delivery process, Airbus is entering a new chapter where innovation and operational excellence move hand in hand. Airbus Broughton employs around 5,000 people and builds and transports via the Beluga aircraft A320, A330 and A350 wings to facilities around Europe. And I have been around the factory once, quite a long time ago, and it's quite the place. It really is. And I'm sure now it's even bigger. But yeah, the ability to it's a major employer in the area, of course, just on the North Wales English border. So yeah, very important facility.
Yeah, bucket list of things I'd love to do, Nev. Things I'd love to do in the aviation world. One of them is either see up close or go on board a Beluga just to see what it's all about inside, because it is absolutely incredible, that aircraft, especially the obviously the brand new Beluga XLs that are in the sky now. Obviously the newer Belugas, but they're an absolutely incredible looking piece of machinery. Absolutely incredible,
amazing, isn't it?
Amazing.
But yeah, it's great that they've the facility is being expanded and they can have more capability. It's brilliant.
So next one's from aerospaceGlobalNews.com, and we all love a weather app. I know I do love a weather app. Nev, what's your app of choice for you? Where do you go for your weather?
Rather boringly, it's a thing called AccuWeather, which actually is quite accurate. When it says rain beginning in 2 minutes, it normally is. So yeah, it's. I mean, the BBC weather app has become a bit of a joke, so I've stopped using that because the accuracy is nil in my experience.
Well, I'm joining you, Nev.
I use AccuWeather for that.
No, that's good. I join you with that. Now, I'm an AccuWeather man and windy as well. I do love windy. especially after a curry. The Met Office has begun public beta testing of a new digital platform intended to replace several long-standing aviation weather services with a single consolidated interface. The system, known as the Met Office Aeronautical Visualization Service, or, I love this, Nev, MAVIS, is being developed as part of a wider modernisation programme covering the UK's regulated meteorological services for aviation. At present, the UK aviation weather information is accessed through a mix of legacy platforms created at different times and for different user groups, ranging from airline dispatch teams, offshore helicopter operators, to glider pilots and balloonists. The fragmentation has long been source of complexity, particularly as the volume and timelessness of meteorological data. Oh my word, these words. I need to have a pint, Nev. Of data have grown in line with the industry demands for more granular, near real-time weather insights. MAVIS is intended to streamline the process by drawing together 4 existing services: Aviation Briefing Service, Network Weather Resilience, HeliBrief, and Open Runway. Now, Open Runway I've heard of, don't know about the other ones, into a single configurable interface. The beta version of MAVIS, made available from October 1st, 2025, offers early access to a prototype software through the UK agency stresses that the tool must not be used operationally while it's being tested. Users can register through the dedicated portal, provide feedback as features roll out, and all 4 previous generations will be withdrawn in spring 2026 once a new system reaches operational maturity. According to the Met Office, the future platform will offer one entry point for aeronautical weather visualizations, with access to observations and forecasts such as METARs, TAFs, atmospheric charts, and geospatial weather layers. Users will be able to tailor their display to their operation and increasingly common features across next-generation aviation briefing tools as operators seek quicker decision-making during changing weather conditions. The agency says the development has been shaped heavily by customer consultation, describing the goal as a more user-focused product. Customer research is directly feeding into the development of the service, making for a more user-friendly, intuitive product. Bringing multiple tools together is also intended to reduce inconsistency between products that were originally built in isolation, improving coherence in the presentation of critical weather information. So, this is obviously for airlines, I'd imagine pilots as well, but is this going to be something that the general public can download as well, Nev?
I think it probably is, yes. And it's, by the sounds of it, it's an augmentation of several different platforms, so that they can hopefully get the best results, but also have a better sort of front end interface to the whole thing as well. Yeah, considering I think aviation weather forecasting is pretty accurate. What I find frustrating is the slight unreliability of some of what I would call the domestic market forecasting. You know, what it's going to do tomorrow, whether you can put your your washing out or something like that. No, there's obviously a lot of work going on here. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like when it comes out for real.
I have to say, I agree with you, Nev, in regards to the BBC weather app. I've got most of the weather apps installed on my phone, and I often find that the regional big ones like BBC and that tend to not be as accurate as AccuWeather and some of the other apps that are out there for reading weather. I don't know what our listeners, what their thoughts are, what apps their favourite apps are for reading weather forecasts or for tracking weather, but I absolutely love Windy. Windy is incredible, Nev. I just love to, especially when we have a big storm or heavy rain. Windy is so good at watching and tracking where the front is going. It's a great little app. Really, really good.
Yeah, I might download that actually and have a look at it. But it's. I realise that I think the BBC are in the process of changing their provider as well. I think from the start of next year. So that'll be interesting to see how that changes. But yeah, it's. I found it massively inconsistent over the months that I've been looking at it, that's for sure.
Right, Nev, we're off to the BBC for this next story, and we've featured this kind of story a little bit over the last 5 or 6 months, haven't we?
Well, yeah, but again, it's a lot of money coming up here, but it's on the BBC website. And it's all about Doncaster Sheffield Airport, and councillors have agreed to take out a £57 million loan to help reopen the airport. And a meeting of the City of Doncaster Council earlier approved the borrowing to pay for the upfront costs. The project's overall cost is £193 million. Why did you close it in the first place? Anyway, we'll come on to that in a minute. Councillors voted overwhelmingly in support, with 42 in favour and 9 against. However, a council report said that the operation was expected to make a loss for the first 9 years, up from the previous estimate of 5. Doncaster Mayor Ros Jones said, "Quite simply, without taking out the borrowing, the airport cannot proceed. This is the magnitude of the decision today, and I know that the airport can be a success, and I know that the council will give us their support." Well, earlier this week, Mayor Jones and the leader of the council, the council's Reform UK group, Councillor Guy Aston, issued a joint statement saying that they were in agreement on the loan. In September, South Yorkshire Council leaders and Regional Mayor Oliver Coppard approved the spending of almost £160 million of public money on the airport. A council report said this money would only be released in annual instalments and would not cover all of the start-up costs for the first few years. Councillors were therefore asked to approve the £57 million bridging loan until the company set up to run the airport, Fly Doncaster, begins to make a profit. And the council said that the borrowing would peak by 2032 to 33 before reducing and would not impact on the wider council budget. In October, it was then revealed that the cost of reopening the site, which closed in 2022, had risen to £193 million. In addition to the £160 million, the South Yorkshire Mayoral Combined Authority had already allocated £16.1 million to the project, with City of Doncaster Council providing £17.4 million. Councillors were also warned that if the operating costs of the airport rose by another 20% within the first 3 years, it could close again. Conservative councillor Nick Allen voted against it and said this is like taking out a credit card to pay someone's mortgage with no benefit at the end. Well, the airport has been closed since operator and landowner Peel Group said that it was no longer financially viable. Freight operations are expected to start in 2027, with a fully operational airport, including passenger flights, planned for summer 2028. Dan Fell, who's chief executive of Doncaster Chamber, said the loan was an important milestone which reflected the huge public and business support. The Chamber looks forward to working closely with City of Doncaster Council, Fly Doncaster and other partners to help address risks, maintain transparency and ensure the project is delivered robustly. South Yorkshire's businesses know the enormous potential of DSA, which is the name of the airport, and we remain committed to playing our part in making the airport a resounding success for the region. Oh dear. The United Kingdom and large infrastructure projects. I know this is not that big in comparison to some of the other ones, but we're not very good at them these days, and things have a habit of going out of control from a budget point of view.
And it's a 180-mile round trip for me, Nev, to Doncaster Airport, or 180 miles there, I should say. 180 miles to Doncaster Airport from here. I don't know whether you saw when you were reading that story, Nev, I could put, there we go, I don't know if you saw the picture there on the screen. That is Doncaster Airport there. One of the comments in the chat room was from Dirk, second runway for Doncaster Sheffield. But if you look at that picture, you could probably squeeze another one in there, ish.
I can squeeze a housing estate in there if you wanted to, couldn't you? That's the name of the game currently. Well,
I worry the concern there, Nev, also is actually, it's just like we're talking about 2 runways here, and it's just like they seem to be having trouble filling the first one.
Yeah, I know. And the trouble is decommissioning the airport as they did in 2022. I mean, that's a lot of money in itself, let alone, doing it all again. So, I mean, I hope it goes ahead. But honestly, is it really necessary? Bearing in mind you've got East Midlands Airport not very far away, Birmingham Airport, Leeds as well. So yeah,
there's some pretty big airports like within stone's throwing distance, isn't there?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if they don't do anything with this airport, it will end up like a lot of the kind of bigger airports have happened in the UK and be turned into storage areas for cars and trucks and building materials and it's just it's going to go that way like it always does with these particular aircraft. But one of the comments in the chat room says, from Richard Adams, says, I wonder whether the Yorkshire Airlines sketch will be doing the rounds again soon before long. Probably one of the best sketches.
It's the bolted on the side Kazi that I think is my favourite part of that whole thing.
And the other funny thing is that, going back onto that advert, they filmed that advert on that Monarch Bristol Britannia at Duxford.
Oh,
the actual one that's at Duxford. It's so funny. Which, if you come to the 600 show next year, guys and girls, you'll be able to see that aircraft up close and personal. So yeah.
I don't think they have it like on a video screen though, on loop. That's the only
No, I don't think they would either. To be fair.
More's the pity.
Right, next is from thetimes.com. And boss pleads guilty over aircraft parts fraud that grounded flights. Oh, obviously we're buying them from Temu. A businessman whose company was accused of selling bogus engine parts to the airline industry in a significant, audacious fraud, leading to temporary grounding of aircraft back in 2023, faces up to a decade in prison after pleading guilty to fraudulent trading. Jose Alejandro Zamora Urala, I do love it when people have 4 names for their self, admitted one charge of fraud in relation to operating AOG Technics, a fraudulent purpose for falsifying documentation relating to the origin, provenance, status and or condition of aircraft parts between January 2019 and December 2023. He entered the plea at Southwark Crown Court on Monday this week, having been charged by the Serious Fraud Office in May as part of an investigation into AOG, which sold the world's best-selling passenger aircraft engine, the CFM56. The company's customers included airlines, maintenance repair operators and engine part suppliers. The CFM56 engines power the 737s, as we know, and the A320 aircraft. The SFO said that from 2019 to 2023, Zamora defrauded customers by falsifying documentation that related to the origin and status of CFM56 engine parts. Aircraft in the UK and across the world were briefly grounded back in 2023 after an investigation was launched by global aviation regulators as safety alerts were issued to airlines that may have brought or installed AOG's parts. The SFO launched an investigation back in October 23, working with Portuguese authorities into the supply of suspected fraudulent and safety certificates and parts. The Portuguese investigation is continuing. Not a great thing to see or read or hear about fraudulent parts being on the market. I mean, if you're going to have bits of aircraft laying around, you want to get rid of them. I have wall space here ready for them. But yeah, to put them onto, funnily enough, when you buy aircraft pieces from our good friends at the Plane Reclaimers and all the other websites you can buy bits from, it does actually say on the website when you buy these bits, not to be used on flying aircraft. So yeah,
I think that's more an indictment of the world we live in these days, though, and I'm sure Neville will agree with me on this one, in the fact that, like you order a coffee and it has to say on the packaging that it's hot, and you think, well, I'd be quite cross if I'd bought a coffee and it wasn't hot, in the same way that, surely a decommissioned engine part is obviously not expected to be used in another engine.
Yeah, you didn't see this in the car industry. Have we never, any time, have we seen fraudulent?
I'm
car
sure
parts?
there's plenty of stuff that's gone on in the past. But yes, I mean, well, I suppose that the thing is, how long has he been getting away with it for? That's the thing, It doesn't actually really say that, does it? But yeah, it's a damning indictment indeed. But unfortunately, this happens, well, all over the world, and more prevalent in some parts of the world than in others. And you can imagine where that might be, can't you?
Yeah.
Right. Matt, you've got the next one, and it's a Ryanair story. And I remember us covering this story. Oh, blimey, it was a while ago.
It was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't that long ago, was it? And as I remember, it was all done with a bit of a big fanfare and sort of getting all quite excited about it. Yes, Ryanair has some sad news, courtesy of MSN.com. And the headline is Ryanair scraps Prime membership service after just 8 months. Oh, I feel like it was going much longer than that. Anyway, what does it mean for passengers is the question. So Ryanair has axed its Prime membership loyalty scheme after just 8 months as passengers took full advantage of the benefits. Launched in March for frequent flyers who didn't want to break the bank, the scheme offered perks like free reserved seats and travel insurance, despite being limited to 250,000 customers on a first-come, first-served basis. Only 55,000 passengers joined the scheme since its debut. However, on the 28th of November, Ryanair confirmed that no new members will now be allowed to sign up. Priced at just €79 for a 12-month subscription, the airline's loyalty scheme offered a slew of membership perks, including free reserved seats, travel insurance, and access to 12 annual membership exclusive seat deals, which could be accessed once a month. Ryanair, which never described the scheme as a trial when it debuted previously, praised the scheme for saving customers who fly 12 times a year up to €420. Even members who only fly 3 times a year could save €105, the airline said. Ryanair said that it has generated more than €4.4 million in subscription fees in the last 8 months, but argues the scheme has saved travellers more than €6 million in fare discounts, meaning it has cost more money than it generated, essentially, to run. This level of memberships or subscription revenue does not justify the time and effort it takes to launch such monthly exclusive Prime seat deals for our members, said Ryanair CMO Dara Brady. With over 207 million passengers this year, Ryanair will continue delivering the lowest fares in Europe to all of our customers, and not this subset of 55,000 Prime members. Ryanair has confirmed that those who have already signed up for the scheme in the last 8 months will be able to access the benefits for the remainder of their 12-month subscription. However, once it's expired, there'll be no option to renew the membership. The last day to purchase the membership was on the 27th of November. Now, I'll be honest with you here, guys. I was quite surprised to discover that 55,000 people had signed up to this particular scheme. I mean, do many people choose Ryanair as a regular way of going from A to B, or is it the deal hunters and that kind of thing who are tending to use them anyway?
I think as a business user, there's probably a lot of people who do use it for business flights. I mean, a lot of companies who want to save money will obviously put their staff on a Ryanair flights if it's a regular thing. But I don't think. I think reading or looking into the story, it's not done as well as what they thought it was going to do. I think they thought that there was going to be, it says.
Oh no, I mean clearly they're essentially 200,000 people out, aren't they?
207 million passengers, and 55,000 of those are Prime members, which is pretty.
It's a very small number.
Very rubbish, isn't it?
Perhaps they didn't want the embarrassment of having a luggage tag which said "I'm a Ryanair Prime member." That's a step too far for people, and they went, "No, we can't do that, I'm afraid."
No. Oh, the shame, Nev. Can you imagine?
A Prime. Oh, honestly.
Oh dear. Not something that appealed to you then, Nev?
Oddly enough, no, it wasn't.
No, right.
No,
Okay.
no.
I mean, all jokes aside, though, like loyalty schemes and stuff. I mean, let's use BA as an example. I mean, I know for a long time you were a gold member, Nev.
He still is. He's still among.
I still am until
Oh, you
March.
are still. Oh,
He's
okay.
still on the
Yeah.
tier.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
For
don't
the
know whether I'm
moment.
going to get the soft landing to to silver, as they call it, or whether
Right.
I'm just going to crash and burn like
Straight
Captain
into-
Al has. He's gone straight from BA gold to blue, which is like, you know,
that's brutal. Yeah.
it's pretty bad.
But
so we'll have to-
I mean, obviously that's intended as a bit of a loyalty scheme, isn't it? I mean, realistically, I mean, how did the perks sort of like stack up in real terms?
I think if you're a serial business traveller, as I was, there are definite benefits there, and of course you're earning Avios points and things like that, so you could then buy yourself discounted airfares for leisure travel, for example. That's quite useful. Just trying to see what the benefits are of the Ryanair Prime system is difficult to see, and I think that's probably why it wasn't a very popular thing, and also it seems to be too expensive for them to even administer the scheme, which is why they've ditched it.
Yeah. I think that they'll just go back to doing what they do, which is cheap fares.
But well, this is it, isn't it?
flights.
It's like if it really is a low cost airline, you know, it's just like it's difficult to see how a loyalty scheme would. As I say, you do sort of tend to associate the loyalty schemes with
Bigger airlines.
the legacy airlines, and you know, you'd sort of expect Virgin, for example, to have a loyalty scheme, or as you said, like
Virgin,
BA
do
obviously
Virgin?
had with that. So yeah, do Virgin have a loyalty
I don't know
scheme?
Virgin. I thought
They do.
Virgin did.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Most big airlines do have some kind of loyalty scheme in place, or point scheme, or they, have the thing where you can get your Avios points, which, as Nev was saying, you can use, and you can use it. You can get Avios points anyway, can't you? Buying fuel or stuff like that. Is it hotels as well, Nev, with Avios?
All sorts of things. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities there. I mean, it's each to their own. But I think, this was probably bound not to work, I have to say. So I have to go back to the drawing board, or maybe not even bother having something next time.
What the airlines needed to have done was have a loyalty scheme where you get points, you get it stamped in your little book, like blue chip, and then you get a carriage clock or a tea set after so many points, or a cup and saucer set.
Do you remember were they called Tiger Points, or what was the ESSO scheme where if you saved up 18 gazillion of the stamps you got like a 14-inch colour TV or something?
There was one, I forget. I think it was either Green Shield.
I remember the green
Yes, it was,
Shield.
Yeah.
And I can remember my dad saving up for what seemed like, I think
An eternity.
left. I'd gone through school and he had about 5 books of stamps in this book. You have to lick them and put them in.
Oh.
And at the end of it, it was I think it was a 24-piece dinner set.
Ooh. Why did it have like Shell's logo on it, or whoever? It was?
No, not at all. And I now I look back and I think to myself, it probably cost, at least £1,000 to get this dinner set that probably cost about £25 from a shop. So yeah. Did
you ever, other than obviously the Avios points, Nev, like when you were sort of like, because you also did a lot of driving as well, was there a loyalty scheme that you used to get involved in?
Not really. No, I mean, Hilton points was my sort of the company's go-to thing as well. So most of us that stayed somewhere, it was either Hilton or IHG we tended to stay in, or Radisson, depending on what part of the world we were going to. But all of those schemes, definitely have their benefits, especially if you're able to use them personally without being taxed on them and things like that. So, that is a good thing. But driving, I think probably I had some BP points at one stage, something like that. But yeah, and of course, funnily enough, it was always the most expensive petrol and diesel you could buy.
100%, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was absolutely not worth it in any way, shape, or form. Not even vaguely worth it.
Tanya in the chat room was actually saying that she had those as well. Green stamps. Remember the store where you could cash them in? Yeah. Oh, perhaps. Yeah, not just us here in the UK. It was in the US as well. Look. Right, moving back to aviation.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I derailed us there.
Oh dear. Right, Nev, we're going to go all techie with you next, and I quite like this story because it doesn't involve a certain company.
Yes, I thought you might be attracted to this story. It's on Aerospace Global News, and it says that Turkish Airlines has expanded its digital baggage tracking capabilities with a new partnership with Samsung, launching a smart tagged baggage service powered by SmartThings Find. From December the 1st, passengers can attach a Galaxy Smart Tag 2 to their checked luggage and track it throughout their journey, helping them to find misplaced or delayed bags more quickly. I don't know whether it helps you find them more quickly. It just tells you that they're lost or that they're somewhere where they shouldn't be, perhaps. But anyway, the Turkish flag carrier becomes the first airline worldwide to integrate Samsung's SmartThings technologies into its baggage recovery process. This new service extends its existing support for Apple AirTags and ensures that passengers across both mobile ecosystems can now benefit from smart luggage tracking. The announcement makes Turkish Airlines the first global carrier offering platform-agnostic baggage tracking support. Turkish Airlines began supporting Apple AirTag location sharing in late 2024, allowing iPhone users to generate a real-time share item location link when filing a missing bag report. The addition of Samsung's Smart Tag 2 support means that Samsung users flying with the carrier now gain a fully supported airline integrated method for tracking lost or delayed luggage. Well, this is how it works. Passengers attach a Galaxy Smart Tag 2 to their luggage before check-in. If a bag is delayed or lost, customers can share a location link with Turkish Airlines baggage services team, allowing them to act on precise real-time data rather than relying solely on conventional baggage handling systems. SmartThings Find then uses Samsung's global network, more than 700 million Galaxy devices, to help pinpoint the bag's location, even if it is far from the passenger. Travellers can also upload a photo of their luggage in the SmartThings Find app to assist the airline recovery team with identification. Well, I mean, it's no bad thing, is it? You know, this goes a long way to helping things, whether you're on the iOS or the Android platform. So, yeah, it's a good thing. And it certainly, it's helped me on a couple of occasions identify that my bag is actually in the wrong country compared to where I am.
In some respects, that information is useful, but your heart must sink, Nev, if something like that. I mean, because it happened to you when you were on. Was it on holiday? You actually on holiday,
well, this is before I actually got an Apple tag. But this was the reason that I got one, because I thought I'm not going to get caught out like this again. You know. So, there we go.
Gosh.
The Apple tags themselves, the tags, they work. Is it on a Bluetooth network that those tags work?
I think they all do, don't they?
Yes. You pair them up, and then the battery lasts for about a year, something like that.
So range-wise, then on those.
It's
anything up to about 200 meters, isn't it? Depends a bit.
Yeah, and it uses it sort of. A bit like sort of GPS, I suppose. It uses various networks to get an approximate. I say approximate location. That actually turns out to be very accurate in the end. Yeah, but no, it works pretty well.
Have to see how much these tags, these Samsung tags are. I bet they're not cheap. I imagine
it's got Samsung in the title. Of course, it's not cheap.
Because I did notice the other day that the Apple tag thingies or whatever they are, Air tags, they are quite cheap now. You can pick those up reasonably cheap. Those tags. So yeah, depends.
And yet you still won't buy one.
No, not. Well, I might buy a tag, but then I got to buy. Oh no, because then you got to buy an iPhone to go with it. Or I could just use Gemma's iPhone. To be fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's a good idea if she can track your things, because she can also hide them from you as well.
Oh, hiding my airplane parts. Anyway.
Friggin' lootly.
Exactly.
Quite right.
Let's do this story. Last one for this week. This is from the Sun.co.uk, because it's obviously a website that we glean all our aviation news from. The new gate camping trend that's taking over airports and infuriating passengers like Neville Bounds. For years, passengers have slammed fellow travellers who hang around the boarding gate before their group is called. My word, Nev, yeah. But a new trend is causing just as many problems, which is people arriving too early for their flights. Currently, the common advice is to arrive 2 hours before a short-haul flight or 3 hours before a long-haul flight. Yet, with chaos in recent years of long immigration queues and passport gates going down, nervous travellers are now arriving much earlier than asked. One traveller told USA Today, "I'm afraid there'll be delays at the screening area. I don't want to miss my flight." This has now resulted in gate campers. It's envisioned tents everywhere, which is people heading to the airport hours before airlines advise. Air Help's Eric Napoli said it was no surprise it was happening, also citing confusing carry-on luggage rules as reasons for people wanting to arrive early. Not only for that, it means terminals are often a lot busier with people taking up lots of seats for hours on end. Most airports urge passengers not to arrive too early, as check-in desks may not even be open. Even hand luggage-only travellers are warned against it, as it can cause more congestion at the airport. There are more reasons for passengers arriving earlier ever as well. Many airports are becoming tourist destinations themselves, and not just because of the duty-free shopping. For example, Changi Airport is home to everything from the world's tallest indoor waterfall to the swimming pools and cinemas inside. Really? Dubai Airport has a number of spas, gardens, as well as cinemas, while Incheon Airport in South Korea has an ice skating ring and a museum, as we featured a few weeks ago on the show. So, I see this, I kind of get this. The problem, in my view, the problem, especially at Stansted, as we all know, as people who have frequented Stansted Airport a number of times, is that in the departure lounge where you wait before you go down to your gate, there is so little seating that you are either forced to have a walk around shops and buy various things you don't want to buy, or you have to go and sit in a restaurant and buy food or drink and sit in one of those, because the seating is just so bad at Stansted. I don't know, obviously for you, Nev, you go in the lounge at Heathrow, so you don't have that issue, but I'm sure, Nev, in your travels you've experienced issues with lounge and seating.
Oh yeah, and the problem is that the airlines and the airports, they've had traditionally quite inconsistent rules about what time you're supposed to be there and all the rest of it. So people inevitably go, well, I'm not going to take a chance with that. I'm going to arrive early. And there was a period, I forget when it was, where they were turning people away from airports that were arriving more than 3 hours before their flight. So yeah, it's a very confusing mess, unfortunately. So there is an inevitability about this, I think.
Yeah, and I think for the time that you're waiting in the departure lounge, the last thing you want to be doing is standing on your feet for ages, twiddling your thumbs, waiting for your gate to appear on the screens. But,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right, it's time for the next part, thrilling part of the show, and we've got a nice uber long one for you this week, haven't we, Nev?
Oh yes, and this one we're going to dedicate this one to Masha, if that's okay. Well, because this week it's 2 minutes and 46 seconds of Dutch goodness. Of course, it's the retro airline out of the week. So just sit back and relax and take in all the delights of a KLM Queen of the Skies. And if you speak Dutch, it's a real bonus.
Elke 4 minuten vertrekt of landt er ergens ter wereld een vliegtuig van de KLM. Aan iedere vlucht wordt de uiterste zorg besteed.
Goedemiddag, kan ik u helpen?
This is Bangkok approach.
Squawk. Okay, the before landing final checklist completed.
Over de geheel aan 23.000 KLM'ers dagrouwbaar.
There we go.
Oh, I'm particularly enjoying the vertical roll right on the end.
The
there
VHS tracking error.
Yeah. Love that.
Brilliant. No, good. Well, I mean, forget about the aircraft, although it was a very nice 747-200 there, wasn't it? But how about the orchestra that they'd brought in for the event as well? Some great music there, wasn't there?
No expense spared.
No, definitely.
Did you see some of the things though on there? That food. I mean, everything on that entire video, like the airport, the baggage bit, and all the food, all that kind of stuff. Everything looked absolutely pristine. Like there was not anything out of place at all on that entire performance. We'll call it performance. If you're listening to us as an audio podcast, you need to get yourselves over to YouTube to watch that advert back, because it just shows, doesn't it, how efficient, I'll say, the Dutch run their airline there.
Well, if it's anything like their railways, I have to say, I've always had very good experience of all that sort of stuff. So, but no, great to see another one. That was brilliant, Carlos. Thank you for dishing that one out.
That's fine, Nev. I'm starting to get to the stage now where it is getting tougher to find new retro airline ads each week. But I'm stuck as to what I'm going to do instead of retro airline ads of the week. If anyone's got an idea, do email us in. Details on that at the end. Right, Nev, we've got some details, haven't we, of what's going on?
Yes. So you might have heard about our 600th show. Let me just run through the details of that again. The date is Friday, the 22nd of May, 2026. The venue for it is the Imperial War Museum at Duxford, and it's in the Airside Suite, which is part of the conference room complex. The entry fee is £60 sterling, payable to us by the 1st of April 2026 to the PTUK Patreon or PayPal account. And the details of those are on the Support Us tab, which you can find on the front page of our website. We'll come back to you with what the full programme is, but there is also a complimentary 1-hour admission to the museum. Although I did find out that when I was there doing the quick recce that this isn't really policed, so you might be all right to do more than 1 hour, I think, by the sounds of things. The other thing that we've got going for you is some special guest presentations, as in previous years. We're just working on that at the moment, and we'll be announcing that probably in the new year. Where the conference centre is, there's free dedicated on-site parking as well, so you don't have to be in the main public car park, so that's great. And your entrance fee includes all the tea and coffee breaks with cookies, fresh fruit and a buffet lunch included in the price. There's also plenty of reasonably priced accommodation local to Duxford. So we suggest you book early if you want to do this. You're paying for your own hotel, but most of us are staying at the Duxford Hotel at Cambridge South, which is in Whittlesford, just outside Cambridge. And the postcode for that is Charlie Bravo 224 November Lima. It's only a 3-minute drive from the IWM, actually, so that's very handy. And also Whittlesford Station is right next to the hotel with easy access to London's Liverpool Street Station, which could be useful for folks as well. In the evening, we are having a dinner at the Red Lion, which is directly opposite the hotel. So that's very useful as well. If the hotels run out of space, they also have rooms available to book. Dinner is a pay-for-yourself affair, and we'll also have to pre-order your food. So I'll be coming back to you with menus and so on in the new year, but they'll need the info by the 30th of April at the latest. So I'll be speaking with folks directly about that. If you would like to attend our 600 show, you have to send your request to podcast@planetalkinguk.com. And I'll send you a confirmation email after we've received your payment as well. You don't have to pay us straight away, but as long as you pay us by the 1st of April. At that time, can you also let us know if you've got any dietary requirements so that we can inform the catering team at Duxford? There are limited spaces available, and the event is filling up quite quickly. We have about 31 people confirmed so far, and we've got capacity for about 50 people. So we're more than halfway there at the moment. Rough idea of the timings. If you wanted to go to the museum opens at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we're going to have lunch at about 12:30 in the airside suite. Then at 2 o'clock, roughly speaking, we will be starting the 600 show for real. That'll go through till about 4:30, and then we'll break all the gear down, and then we'll go over to the hotel and the Red Lion pub afterwards. So that'll be from about, I would think, about 6:30 or 7 o'clock, I would imagine, something like that. So it's looking very good so far. And I say, if you want to come, you are very welcome, but you must send us an email to do that so I can keep track of the numbers and who's paid. We've tried to keep the cost to a minimum, but obviously we do have quite large costs of rental of the facility, but it's a very nice space actually, and it overlooks the airfield, and there's a nice balcony area too. So hopefully by May time the weather will be nice and we can enjoy some great fun together.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really good event. Looking forward to it next year.
Can't wait. It's going to be brilliant.
I said to Nev before we went live on air earlier that my dad is again going to come and join us this time. Dad always comes to the milestone shows. Good old Dad. Plus, we've also got a fair few well-known podcast faces, haven't we, Nev, coming to the event as well?
Yeah, I think you'll see Captain Al there, Pilot Pip, Captain Nick, and maybe if we can persuade him to come over, maybe get Captain Jeff over as well. So we'll see how we get on with that. But we're trying to put some nice presentations together as well for you. So just like we did the 400th show, so you'll be able to enjoy those as well.
Excellent.
They were both brilliant. Those actually, weren't they? The
Peter Collings and Bill Clafley. Yeah, they were
so
brilliant.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very, very interactive, wasn't it? The whole thing. So we're trying to put a similar sort of program together where we've got 2 separate speakers. I've got one almost confirmed, and we're working on another one at the moment. So we'll have to see how we go.
Right, it's time for Nev's favourite part of the show, isn't it, Nev?
Yes, the part that I don't understand. It's the military segment.
Lost up buggies 13550 Angel 16 heading 340. Okay. 108 buggies.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I can get to this age, I'll be so impressed. This comes from the vintageaviationnews.com. An 101-year-old World War II C-47 pilot takes to the air with the American Air Power Museum. The American Air Power Museum celebrated the 101st birthday of World War II C-47 pilot Alan Shapiro with a special flight aboard the same type of aircraft he flew during the war. Shapiro, who served with the 316th Troop Carrier Group, returned to the cockpit 8 decades after flying critical missions from Market Garden to Operation Varsity. The event honoured his service and paid tribute to all the veterans of the greatest generation. I'm going to get the pictures on the screen for those of you watching in the world of YouTube, because it is so awesome. On Saturday, November the 29th, 2025, the American Air Power Museum in Farmingdale, New York, welcomed and honoured the World War II US Army Air Force's C-47 pilot Alan Shapiro and his family in a continued celebration of his 101st birthday. Shapiro turned 101 on October the 16th this year. He was just 18 years old in 1944 when he joined the US Army Air Corps, and the museum special event reunited him with the legendary C-47, the same type of aircraft he flew back in 1944 to 1945 during the final push to victory in Europe. As a young second lieutenant and C-47 pilot, Shapiro was assigned to the 1st Allied Airborne 316th Troop Carrier Group, the 37th Troop Carrier Squadron, from the fall of 1944 through to the end of World War II. He took part in post-Operation Market Garden, resupply and medevac missions, airborne resupply and evacuation operations during the Battle of the Bulge, and Operation Varsity in March 1945. The largest single-day Allied airborne assault of the war, conducted to secure a crucial foothold across the Rhine River in Germany. Operation Varsity became the final major combat airborne operation of World War II, occurring just 2 months before the war's end. They said, "We were honoured to welcome the veteran Alan Shapiro to the museum to fly and share his wartime experiences with our visitors. The museum is proud to honour Alan for his World War II service and to celebrate his 101st birthday with a flight on board our C-47 Clyman," he added. "This is a special occasion to celebrate Alan, and it can continue recognising and honouring all World War II veterans of the greatest generation," said AAM President Jeff Kleiman. American Air Power Museum is an aviation museum located on the landmark former site of Republic Aviation at Republic Airport, Farmingdale, New York. The museum maintains a collection of aviation artifacts and an array of operational aircraft spanning the factory's many years of history. AAM is a 501, or a non-profit education foundation chartered by New York State Board of Regents. And for those of you watching the world of YouTube there, the picture is so good. It's incredible.
I tell you what, he don't look 101, does he?
He does not look 101. That is true. What do you think of that, Ev?
Oh, phenomenal. A great story, but there's some beautiful pictures to go with it as well.
Yeah.
Of him on board the aircraft and outside as well. Just really, really great. And yes, I'm not expecting to make it to 101, but if I was going to, I'd like to look like this fella here, I must say.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Incredible.
Kudos to him. Absolutely wonderful. What a lovely chap.
So, from history to the possible future of unmanned aerial vehicles. Nev.
Yes, this is on the USA.org website. It says that soldier flies unmanned Black Hawk in aviation first. Well, in a recent test, a soldier with no aviation experience created flight plans and flew Black Hawk helicopter missions using a handheld tablet whilst standing on the ground. Known as an optionally piloted vehicle, or OPV, the Black Hawk was developed by Lockheed Martin Sikorsky and tested in August during North Strike 25-2, a military exercise with real-world missions that took place at Camp Grayling in Michigan, according to a Lockheed Martin news release. The test was conducted by an Army National Guard sergeant, first class, who was trained in under an hour on how to independently plan, command and execute OPV Black Hawk missions using the handheld tablet powered by Matrix aircraft autonomy system technology. Matrix gives operators of control of advanced aviation, a capability once reserved for trained pilots, enabling resupply, personnel recovery and contested logistics missions in dangerous or low visibility areas without putting human life at risk, the news release said. The test comes at a time when the Army is overhauling its aviation formations to minimise costs associated with high-maintenance piloted aircraft and leverage autonomous technology to reduce risk to soldiers by carrying out optionally piloted missions. Well, during the tests, which took place over the course of about a week, the NCO directed the vehicle's payload to a location 70 nautical miles away and commanded multiple precision airborne drops. The test marked the first time the OPV Black Hawk was operated under the full control of a real warfighter rather than a trained test pilot or engineer. Whilst the soldier-directed flight was a major milestone in the development of the vehicle, other firsts for the OPV Black Hawk during Northern Strike included 3 types of cargo delivery missions and a medical evacuation exercise. From a US Coast Guard vessel on Lake Huron, the soldier planned and executed a Class 1 resupply mission from 70 nautical miles away, and after the cargo was unloaded, he used the tablet interface to direct the OPV Black Hawk in racetrack patterns over the lake while soldiers on board completed 2 precision parachute drops at different altitudes. In a sling load exercise, the NCO conducted the first ever autonomous hookup of an external load whilst airborne. Using its hover stability capabilities, the OPV Black Hawk held its position while soldiers attached a 2,900-pound water tank without pilot intervention. A third exercise saw the OPV Black Hawk complete 6 autonomous hovering hookups to transport high-mobility artillery rocket system launch tubes to an alternate landing zone. The soldier then used the aircraft to conduct a simulated personnel recovery, including a tail-to-tail patient transfer to a piloted Black Hawk at an unimproved landing site, marking once again the first time an untrained soldier had commanded an autonomous medical evacuation recovery from inside the OPV Black Hawk aircraft, according to the release. Rich Benson, who's Vice President and General Manager of Sikorsky, said, with lives on the line, Sikorsky's Matrix flight autonomy system can transform how military operators perform their missions. That is quite stunning, isn't it?
Mm.
It's a bit
unskilled people with very little tuition being able to do that stuff.
I mean, it goes to show how much the technology has moved on, doesn't it? It's that sort of thing, isn't it? It's essentially flying itself, and you're just giving it a handful of instructions, isn't it?
It is a bit freaky when you look at that picture, though.
No pilot?
No, there's no one in there.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to get to the stage in the not too distant future where, you know, the pilots will be sitting at home with their iPad on the sofa watching Netflix.
Well, I mean, we've seen it in films for years, haven't we? Where that very technology is where people are sort of like, you know, flying. I mean, there've even been sketches in like Family Guy and things, haven't they? Where they're sort of like Steve is flying a, you know, that's the thing. It's just like, you know, what was once sort of very much sci-fi is very much. I don't know. Is it the norm? It might already be, for all we know.
I see it in the military use, you know, because obviously it's taking the risk out of obviously losing pilots and stuff in a war situation. But you know, in a commercial sense, I don't think we're going to have commercial airliners being flown from the ground with tablets or anything. Not anytime soon, anyway. They'll invent a transporter first off Star Trek before that happens anyway.
Right.
Then we shan't have to worry.
Okay.
Right, Nev, we have got something quite special next, haven't we?
We have, and we've got to thank our colleague Alan White for donating this prize to the competition. It's a cracking prize. I don't know if we've got a picture of it that you can bring up, Carlos, but it's one of those prizes which is just got absolutely fantastic photography in it, from the new book called Irish Air Spectacular 3, and that was the all the photography that was done at the Bray Air Show that we went to earlier in the year. Absolutely incredible photography that's in this book. And alongside it, there is the Irish Air Spectacular Calendar 2026 as well. Now, we've been lucky to get hold of copies of Irish Air Spectacular 2. And I must say that if that's anything to go by, this will be a fantastic prize. Now, the question is, on the front cover of the new book, called Irish Air Spectacular 3, it shows the formation of 4 Fouga Magister jets. This type was displayed from 1986 to 1998. And the question is, what was the name of the display team? What was the name of the display team? The clue we're going to give you is that the team was reformed in 2022 with the PC-9s that the Air Corps currently operates. So I'm going to repeat the question. The front cover of this new book shows a formation of 4 Fouga Magister jets. This type was displayed from 1986 to 1998. And the question is, what was the name of the display team? And the clue is that the team was reformed in 2022 with the PC-9s that the Air Corps currently operates. Pause for a quick drink. Hold on a sec. If you would like to enter that competition, send your entry to podcast@planetalkinguk.com, as always. Excuse me. And as I've said, the prize is the Irish Air Spectacular 3 book, along with a 2026 calendar. Carlos, I don't know if you're able to read the rest of this for me, because my voice is becoming a bit faulty.
Yes, I shall. Let me just bring that picture back up on the screen again. There we go. So the unique collection of aviation photography over Ireland. The team behind the beautiful Irish Air Spectacular photography presentation book has published a 3rd volume just in time for Christmas, with all the profits going to St Vincent de Paul, filled with, as Nev was saying, stunning aviation photography and unforgettable moments from the skies. The collector's editions, these are collector's editions, and they're a must-have for every aviation enthusiast, and every purchase of one of these is for a fantastic cause. If you fancy buying one of these books, and just in case you don't have the chance to win it, if you don't win this one we're giving away, the Irish Air Spectacular 3 is available to purchase online, as well as in Manor Bookshop in Malahide, County Dublin, and St Vincent de Paul Burr. A desktop 2026 calendar featuring the awe-inspiring photography is also available. And Irish Air Spectacular Volume 3 features remarkable aircraft that have graced the Irish skies in recent years, including significant events such as the US President Joe Biden's visit, the Aer Lingus American football game at the Aviva, Harry Styles' concert at Slane, and the visit of the Red Arrows to Bray Air display in 2023. Also, magnificent views from the cockpit, as well as rare air-to-air photographs of aircraft in flight, which are also included in this very special production. Fans of aviation, great photography, and Ireland's beautiful scenery will enjoy what promises to be a treasured Christmas gift. Now, Shay Pardry, who organised the publication, said that to date, €540,000 have been raised for St Vincent de Paul from sales of the Irish Air Spectacular and other aviation fundraiser projects. So a big thanks to everyone who's generously supported these efforts on what is a very worthy cause. They say here they encourage everyone who can treat themselves or a loved one or a colleague to a copy of the beautiful book will need to continue raising funds for families and children experiencing challenging times. Renowned Irish coastal landscapes such as, I hope I pronounce these properly, my word, we need someone Irish on here, Skellig Michael, the Donegal coastline, Blessington Lake, County Wicklow, Lambay Island, Tusker Rock Lighthouse, County Wexford, Spike Island, Cork, the Bray coastline, which I know for a fact, 'cause I've been there, is beautiful, New Grange, County Meath, and the Aran Islands, Clew Bay, County Mayo, and Ben Bulben, County Siglo, feature in this beautiful collection, along with distinctive landmarks including the cranes of Harland Wolff Shipyard in Belfast. Irish Spectacular is available, and you can find it on allthews.irishairsspectacular.ie. The book, if you want to go and buy it, is €40, and the desktop calendar is €15. And you can find all the information over there at that website. But, as Nev said, we are giving away a copy of the calendar and the Irish Air 3 display book 3 as a prize. So, just one last time, Nev, what was that question so people can try and enter to win?
Yes, thank you for helping me out with that section. My voice was failing me. So the question once again, the front cover of the new book, Irish Air Spectacular 3, shows a formation of 4 Fouga Magister jets. This type was displayed from 1986 to 1998. And the question is, what was the name of the display team? And the clue that Alan's given us is that the team was reformed in 2022 with the PC-9s that the Air Corps currently operates. So please send your entry to podcast@planetalkinguk.com. We'll draw the winners out of a hat in next week's show, and fingers crossed for the winner. But thank you again, Alan, for donating those items, and also for Shay for his fantastic support as well. Really nice. And Shay Pardee, you might have seen the interviews that we did with him over at Bray. One of the nicest fellows you could ever wish to meet, and very modest. Very modest with it too, isn't he?
They say you guys had the pleasure of meeting him in his sort of home turf, didn't you, when you were over there?
Yeah. And his normal job is as one of the chief captains at Aer Lingus, but he does a lot for charity as well, and all the work he's done here is fantastic. But the photography in this book is just phenomenal, so it's a great prize to win.
Just checking the emails. We've not had the entrance yet, but John Falk has sent us in a potential retro airline ad for next week, Nev.
Ooh. Oh, yes, I saw that. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's you can add that to your collection. We'll play it out next week.
Right, quick round robin then before we wrap up the show. What's everyone up to next week, or this weekend, or whenever? Nev?
Well, rather sadly, I've got to go to a funeral tomorrow. The second one I've been to in a few weeks, actually, which is a real shame. It's one of my industry colleagues that sadly passed away very unexpectedly. So that's a real shame. So I should be also seeing a lot of my ex-industry colleagues there as well, I would imagine, tomorrow. And then not a great deal happening over the weekend or next week so far, actually. Quite an empty diary, which is a nice change. I have to say.
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
You seem to have not stopped since retirement, to be fair.
Well, I've not overdone it, but I've got enough to do, but not too much. Yeah.
No, nice. Sounds like a good week.
Yeah.
Matt, I hope you're having a relaxing weekend this weekend, but I know you are obviously out playing some music to the droves on Saturday evening, aren't you?
No, I'm not involved in that. I'm off to
I
know I'm off to the
weekend off.
Well, I'm sort of helping with setup, and then I'm off to the company that I work for. It's their Christmas party.
Oh,
so
is that already that time?
It is that time already. Yeah, the Christmas parties have well and truly started. So I should be indulging in that one. And very sadly, I won't be here next week. I'm going to be spending an evening with the Salvation Army, which I'm very much looking forward to. So that's going to be a very, very special evening.
And their band is awesome. I've seen those guys.
The disc.
I've heard those.
Yeah, the
guys
disc contingent are absolutely incredible. So that's going to be a very special evening. Doing some bits for the radio. So that's going to be very, very special.
Oh, yeah, they are. I do love the band music like that. It's very soothing. Very soothing.
Yeah, especially when it's good. For me, it's synonymous with Christmas, isn't it? Christmas hasn't started until you've bumped into the Sally Army doing their thing in a shopping centre somewhere. You know.
Oh dear.
It just occurred to me as I was saying to Carlos earlier on before the show started. This will be the first year that I will not be going to a company Christmas party.
Oh yes,
because I'm no longer working for a company.
No. Can you and Mrs. Nev not just have a sort of Nev Tech gathering of some description?
Yes, I'm sure a gin and tonic and a packet of Cheezos or something. Yes.
Yeah, cheese. Oh wow!
Yeah.
Now we're talking. That's the dark green packet, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd at least dug out some prawn vol au vents, Nev.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Possibility. But so yeah,
you love a nice vol au vent. I've got to be honest.
Although I must say, I'm saying I'm not going to one. All the ones I've been to in the last probably 10 years, I suppose, they have been quite raucous affairs, and the state that some people get themselves into is just horrific. So I shan't be missing that. So I'm not including myself in that category.
No, of course not.
So I shan't miss that, and I shan't miss the hangover that will go with it as well.
I've got that to look forward to next Saturday. That's my work's Christmas party. But
yes,
I will. I'll probably have a weekend. Actually, we're off to see the parent-in-laws Sunday for the day. So I shall probably spend Saturday afternoon doing my ironing, which will be lovely.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah,
The rockstar lifestyle, us podcasters lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah. Right, as you're there, Matt, where can people find out more about us on the media socials?
Indeed, yes. You can find yourself by, if you want to search for us on our social media, then choose your platform wisely and type in Plain Talking UK. You'll find our handle on all of those platforms there. You can get in touch by email. It's studio at plaintalkinguk.com. That's studio. No, it's not. It's podcast at plaintalkinguk.com. I'll do that again. Podcast at plaintalkinguk.com. And I don't have the WhatsApp number in front of me, unfortunately.
I can tell you.
Yeah, marvellous.
It's +44 7446 975 214. If you'd like to send us messages, comments, criticisms, all of the above.
Indeed, all of the above. Yes, it's +44 7446 975 214. plaintalkinguk.com, of course, is the website. There's a little new website there. All the details you need for our wonderful 600th show is available there as well. All you have to do is go to there. All the details and the links are there for getting involved in that one.
There we go. You can send in your answers as well to the competition, and when I get a chance, fingers crossed, hopefully tomorrow evening I'll get a chance, I will post the competition question and also the picture as well of the prize on our social media, so you can have a look on there. And as I said, enter via email, podcast at plaintalkinguk.com, and we'll be, what do you say, Nev? We'll draw in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think either next week or the week after, depending on how many entrants we get. But
excellent.
Yeah, so it's a great
book,
prize, that's for sure. So
yeah, proper hardback as well, which is lovely.
Right, it's time to say good night and au revoir to everyone. Thanks for everyone who's joined us this evening, all the YouTube chat room family in there tonight. And thank you to all our audio downloaders of the show as well, who listen to us as an audio podcast. Don't forget, if you want to see what we're like on the old telly box and also what the Retro Airline ad looked like this week, make sure you check out our YouTube page and check out our video on there to find out what's all going on the video. So thanks to the chat room, thanks to all the team as usual, and thanks to Nick as well, who done a lot of work on the show notes this week as well. Thanks to you, Nick. So that's it for episode 580. 20 away from 600. Oh my word. Right, so Nev, would you like to say goodbye to everyone, and we'll see you all next week?
Yes, thanks for everyone joining us tonight, and thanks, Matt, for coming in as well. I really appreciate it. Nice to see you again. Hope you have a nice week off next week as well.
Yes, indeed. Apologies for my tardy arrival.
That's all right. No problem at all. Hope everybody has a great rest of the week and the weekend. We'll be back at 7 o'clock UK time on Wednesday. In the meantime, bye for now.
Hello.
You normally say, and there we go.
There we go. We've done it again. We managed to get through it.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Good little show. Some good discussion there.
Yeah, some good discussion, and good discussion from our chat room as always. And nice comments there at the end as always. Thank you, everyone. Good to see you in there, Grinner. This week he's in there. He managed to Grinner managed to get into the chat room tonight to join us. Good to see you.
I assume this is somebody you know.
It's here we go. It's Grinner is. I'm trying to go back to where Grinner joined us now. Grinner is
Eric is his real name.
That's it. Yeah.
Doesn't
normally get a chance to join us, but
I see.
To see us tonight.
Oh, so, nice. Yeah. Oh, well done. Welcome. Hope it wasn't. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, a lot of people don't get a chance to join us live on a Wednesday night, but every now and again, people jump in, so that's always good. But yes, thank you to everyone as always. This week, I'm going to be departing swiftly because we have a Nigel that's gone AWOL again.
Oh no!
For the
not again.
Fourth. I lost count time this week. He'll be back, but he's just honestly
he does this a lot to you, doesn't he?
He's an absolute not. No, Dave, beautiful. Dave, rather be in on the kitchen table on his mat, but Nigel, he goes away at around about 4:15 in the afternoon before I get home, and then he normally just tends to stroll out or stroll back, probably 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, after being out for the whole night.
Wow. I mean, I suppose the only saving grace is it's much quieter where you are now.
Oh, it is a lot quieter, yeah, but the worry is still there. I swear, me and Gemma were sitting down the other night and we were just saying, I think that I definitely feel like I've aged 5 years in the year and 3 months or whatever we've had the boys.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Honestly. Boy, Poppy never used to do this. She was...
No. The nice thing about Poppy is, other than you, she had sort of the same level of contempt for literally anyone else.
Yes.
But I love that consistency.
Poppy hated everyone, bless her.
Yeah, absolutely. But at least she didn't discriminate. That's the best thing.
No.
Bless her.
And we do miss her terribly, me and Gemma, all the time. But, right... Would you like to say, well, we're going to say goodbye. Good night to everyone. Thanks, everyone, again for joining us in the YouTube world tonight. Lovely to see you all in there as usual. As Gemma brings me in a cup of tea. Thank you, dear. Is Nigel back yet? No? Oh, right, okay.
Lovely.
Right.
Know what your evening's going to be spent doing this? Yeah.
Right, so, Nev, would you like to say goodbye to everyone? And thanks again, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, superb show again. Thanks everybody for joining. Great contributions, of course, in the chat room. And we'll be back on Wednesday, 7 o'clock UK time next week. In the meantime, bye for now.